the person coming up next is not the president of this country, but the president of another country. And I'm looking around trying to understand who am I looking at? I don't even know. I don't even know what this president looks like. So, we have these situations, but
how you manage.
Yeah, and I've been very lucky. I mean, I always get positive feedback. Like, it was flawless. We didn't know what was happening. I'm like, I did not know what was happening.
So these are we have mice thought-provoking conversation. So in regards to the mice industry, but just I'm quite intrigued. Who is Yvvone Ndege?
Moderate the Panel is an all-female team because we found that clients wanted female Emcees and moderators.
Oh, so it's by intention.
By intention. By intention.
So at Moderate the Panel, so how does MTP leverage on AI? Maybe it might be in its planning process, the research process. So what are some of the touch points that you leverage?
Yeah, I don't think we have a corporate AI response or strategy.
All right.
I think different moderators may use AI when they need to, maybe in the areas of research, researching topics, etc. Without a great moderator, ideally from Moderate the Panel, their event will not have the same level of impact, quality and impact in terms of delivery and speaking, the speaking roles within the event. So I'd say that they are a lot more aware of the value that professional companies like Moderate the Panel bring. They often have larger budgets, of course, to pay the fees needed.
So what are some of the challenges that MTP in its line of duty, that is in terms of emceeing, moderating within the African continent? So what are some of these challenges that you guys face?
Don't bring a piece of paper onto stage. Just think about the things that you want to say. Send us the questions maybe. Sometimes you think we should pose to you that will help you to articulate the points you want to make.
What exactly is required for emceeing and what is required for moderation, and what does a moderator solve and what does an MC solve?
Is when you see the stress draining from the client because they know that she's going to handle it. Like, I don't have to panic. Like, this is not going to go wrong. Moderate the Panel are going to deliver, so I can focus on whatever it is that needs sorting out, whether it's the audio visual or the venue issues which usually crop up during the event.
She is a very phenomenal figure when it comes to the moderating space, when it comes to the emceeing world, but for corporate events. But I wouldn't want to introduce her much. I want her to introduce herself. How are you, Yvvone? Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Peter here once again, and as usual. So today we have a guest who is from Moderate the Panel. We shall be discussing about the emceeing world, the moderating world, not the conventional emceeing you are used to, but quite a little bit international par. But before we start this nice conversation, I want to acknowledge our partners who make this podcast a fruition, the Clarion Hotel. Let's have a look at it. We have another partner who is making this podcast a fruition. It all leads all the way to September in Nairobi, Kenya. Nairobi is the capital city for Kenya, and what shall be happening on September? We are having the Africa Mice Summit, supported by our very own Kezi Mokiri, the CEO of Zuri Event. So what the Africa Mice Summit about? So the summit you are pushing for trade and investment in the mice industry in Africa at large, and we shall be joined by high-level delegates to come and chart the path, the way forward on how do we pull investment, how do we ensure that we have more investment in Africa in regards to mice. We are still at 3%. We need to push this number at 5%. This is the Africa Mice Summit. Have a look. We are now officially starting the Mice Talk podcast with our guest all the way from the UK. She's called Miss Yvvone Ndege. She is a very phenomenal figure when it comes to the moderating space, when it comes to the emceeing world, but for corporate events. But I wouldn't want to introduce her much. I want her to introduce herself. How are you, Yvvone?
I'm very well, thank you, Simon.
Thank you so much for honoring our invite, and I'm fine, thank you.
Great, and the pleasure is absolutely mine. I'm honored to be a guest of yours today.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we call this the hot seat. So this is where we have mice thought-provoking conversation. So in regards to the mice industry, but just I'm quite intrigued. Who is Yvvone Ndege?
That's a big question. How long do we have? That's a very loaded question.
Yeah.
No, thank you again for the opportunity.
Welcome, pleasure.
To be part of your podcast and
Thank
to
you.
come on to talk about myself.
Exactly.
Moderate the panel.
Yeah.
And the whole business and profession of moderating and emceeing events.
All right.
You introduced me already. My name is Yvvone Ndege. I am, I want to say I'm a media personality.
All right.
I want to say I'm a former journalist, television news correspondent for the BBC in the UK,
All right.
and for Al Jazeera English.
Interesting.
I have 2 decades of experience in media communication, visibility, moderating, and emceeing.
Interesting.
I want to say at the very highest levels, but I'll come to that in a moment.
Yeah.
And my focus for the last few years has been working as part of Moderate the Panel. Moderate the Panel is a highly professional organization and company that specializes in providing bespoke and curated moderating, hosting, and emceeing, primarily to corporate organizations, government, non-governmental organizations, foundations, and other clients across many sectors on the continent of Africa and globally.
All right, interesting. So which means you have an all-rounded global exposure.
Absolutely.
And actually, I'm just interested. So did you pursue background in media and communications or journalism? Because I can tell your career path, it's ideal for most of the enthusiastic here we call them comrades. These are students, so who pursue media and communication studies. So with the idea of getting into the global market. So where did you do your alma mater? What's your background?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I didn't study journalism.
What?
Believe it or not, because most people don't
gosh.
believe I didn't study journalism.
All right.
But I'm a natural journalist. I did study. I have 2 degrees, one from University of London and one from London School of Economics.
All right.
And my academic background really gave me the foundation I needed to go into broadcast media and journalism. My father was a journalist. He worked for the BBC. And so you could say it was sort of in the blood. Journalism, media, communication, et cetera, et cetera. I was the child who always wanted the microphone, always wanted to be on stage, always wanted to be in front of the camera. I used to pretend I was reading the news, at the dinner table when I was a child. So that's my kind of academic background, and I became an intern at the BBC when I was 14 years old. I won't tell you what year that was because then you'll know how old I am. We don't want to go into that. but I was an intern at the BBC when I was 14 years old. So I've been in the industry for quite some time.
Wait, just to cut a little bit short, just two questions. So will I be wrong if I say your father is one who's inspired you to join into the comm space? And wait, interning at 14?
Yeah, I was interning at 14 because in the UK, in secondary school or in senior school, you intern at 14 for a month or so in an organisation.
All
and
right.
I was very lucky that
Interesting.
I was able to get an internship at the BBC. And yes, my father, I would say, probably was my inspiration, and it is very much in the family, in the blood, I would say. You know that. I think of all his children, I was the one who was maybe really most interested in going into the media and journalism.
All right, that's actually quite intriguing. So far, how is the comms and the media landscape so far?
In what sense?
Okay, so I know you took a break from the traditional media. Then now, in 2018, you joined the Moderate the Panel
Yes,
team.
absolutely.
So before then now, so what exactly has changed into the traditional?
Yeah, absolutely. I can answer that question. So as you know, I was a high-profile and highly visible television news correspondent covering the continent of Africa primarily for Al Jazeera English, based primarily in West Africa, in Nigeria, covering everything from daily news events, social affairs, politics, climate change, displacement and migration, business, the arts, music, social affairs, the whole spectrum of what you might see on the news. And I realized that the skills I developed were the perfect skills for transitioning when I left news media.
All right.
The day-to-day business of news media were perfect for transitioning into moderating and emceeing events.
Right.
So I was one of the founding moderators at Moderate the Panel, which was founded by Femi Oke.
Yeah, actually, even tell
Very
us more
well
about
known.
the MTP.
Very well known media personality globally. So I had the perfect skill set because, of course, as a journalist, as a television news journalist, you are used to, first of all, being on camera and being in front of audiences.
Yes.
Speaking, talking, delivering unscripted. In live situations.
Right.
Obviously, it's live television news.
All right.
Engaging with high-profile figures and personalities, but also ordinary people, including victims of all sorts of things: climate change, displacement, refugees, ordinary people. So journalism was really the perfect foundation for me to transition to working at Moderate the Panel, because of those very key broadcasting, speaking, organizational skills that one needs. Also the soft skills of knowing when to interact with people, how to interact with people, and how to really conduct conversations. Of course, interviewing is a major aspect of being a journalist.
That's true.
And interviewing is also a major aspect of emceeing and moderating, because when you're emceeing and moderating, as we do at Moderate the Panel, which is the core of what we do, you are interviewing essentially people. Sometimes it's a panel discussion, sometimes it's a one-to-one fireside conversation. So those skills translate really easily.
Interesting. I can tell actually you had a very solid and perfect foundation that someone can ever get to switch into that transition. But then how did, as a founding member of Moderate the Panel back in 2018, so how did MTP come to fruition? What problem were you trying to solve? What gap exactly did you find in the MICE industry? And we need to fill this gap. And this is a solution that MTP is trying to solve.
That's a great question. So MTP, Moderate the Panel, recognized that there was really a massive gap, an opportunity in the MICE space.
All right.
Because it was evident, and it's evident today, that in-person events, mainly in-person events, but we have and we do host virtual events, and especially during the pandemic, we did quite a number of remote and virtual events. But most events are in person. Most conferences are in person. Most exhibitions are in person. Most meetings are in person.
Yes.
We noticed that there was a lack of a central personality or figure to bring together, organize, run the delivery of the event. And by deliver, I mean somebody who can get the attention of the room, command the room, own the space, recognize the opportunities within the different conversations that could happen with people in the room, bringing an event or an exhibition or meeting to a very high standard in terms of organization, delivery, presence, and atmosphere. So we recognize this. So a lot of event organizers, meeting organizers might invest heavily in a venue or catering.
Exactly.
Or audiovisual, or setting, dressing up a room, whether that's with furniture or visibility materials like banners and posters. But we noticed that many entities in the MICE space were not investing in the host of the event and the moderator of the event and the person to really bring it all together. So it was actually Femi Oke's brilliant idea to actually assemble and give the opportunity and create an entity and a space to offer this professional, highly professional service to clients, using Moderate the Panel moderators and Emcees, most of us who have come from high-level international journalism backgrounds. I mean, I work for the BBC and Al Jazeera, but some of my colleagues at MTP have worked for CNN, CBC, CBS, NBC, media across the world. Some are writers, some are authors, some are working across the media space. So this was really the opportunity and the gap that Moderate the Panel saw, that organizers were spending heavily on other elements of the infrastructure of an event, but not investing in having a professional, articulate, engaging moderator or MC to bring the event together.
Interesting. So, and how is the market response? How are they responding?
That's a very good question as well. I would say that the response has been great.
Fantastic.
Right? The response has been great. We at Moderate the Panel have had to do a lot of work to educate, right? Clients, okay? Because obviously there are many different types of clients with many different perspectives on what makes a good meeting or an event or a conference or an exhibition. So, as I said earlier, most focus on the venue. Then they might focus on visibility materials and dressing up a venue. Then they might focus on the setting in terms of the visual layout of a space, whether it's chairs and tables or whether it's exhibition stands. Then they might focus on catering, security, audio visual, and then leave the moderator to the last minute, right?
Yeah.
Or think that they can get a good moderator at the last minute, or think they can get a moderator for free.
All right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We do have, and we have come across entities and organizations who don't actually, or didn't actually understand the value of investing in a professional MC or moderator. So we've had to do a lot of work at Moderate the Panel to educate clients about the value add. Okay, so what is the value add of having Yvvone Ndege or Femi OK or several other MCs and moderators who are part of Moderate the Panel? What do we bring to the event?
All right.
And how does our skill help to lift the quality and the professionalism of the event?
All right. Interesting, but that's a long way. I can tell MTP did a lot of groundwork, prepared the market that did not exist then, and right now organizations are really uptaking. But take me back to class. What's this emceeing, professional emceeing, and what's moderation? Because I need also to draw a thin line, and what exactly is required for emceeing and what is required for moderation, and what does a moderator solve and what does an MC solve?
Absolutely. And you know, before I became a professional moderator and MC, as I said, I was in the media space.
Yes.
So I also attended a lot of events, of course, across from government events, where there's a government spokesperson or convener who's at a podium, non-governmental and intergovernmental events with organizations like the African Union, the East African Community, corporate events across different sectors, from industry to banking to fashion to manufacturing, private events, personal events, birthdays, celebrations. So we're all kind of, I think everyone has like a sense of what a moderator is there to do. At Moderate the Panel, it's really matching or analyzing the event and matching the event to the appropriate moderator or MC.
More of matchmaking.
So the kind of moderator you might need for, let's say, for example, World Bank spring meetings or annual meetings, or a major foundation having a fundraising event is very different from what you would need perhaps for, let's say, an entertainment event, or a music event.
Sure.
So what Moderate the Panel has been able to do is to match its moderators to specific types of events and the types, and select the moderator that really fits well or suits the event and the type of issues that might be discussed. On the question about the difference between a moderator
and
an MC, there is an overlap.
All right.
I will start with the MCing. So the MCing is primarily a sole individual, one person. An MC is normally just the one person bringing together the event.
All right.
At maybe standing at a podium, maybe with some sort of script or some sort of guide to the event that's in front of them, and they are normally calling on people to maybe come and give a presentation, or to speak to an audience. It's normally, like I said, like highly scripted and planned, and you are. It's more, I mean, my personal interpretation, I don't know what Femi and my colleagues would say, but my personal interpretation is it's more about bringing pieces together that already exist. And really you're just sort of managing an event and handing over, let's say, to somebody to take the floor or to speak at a certain time.
All right.
Moderating is more about managing a discussion with individuals.
Right.
So as the name suggests, moderate the panel.
Yeah.
Most of our work is actually moderating panel discussions.
Interesting.
That might involve anywhere from 2 to 8 or even 10 people, depending on the event. I mean, obviously, we do try to guide our clients that it's very difficult to have a successful discussion with 10 participants.
Yeah, actually,
right?
just look at the logistical.
The logistical, you know, every aspect of it. You know, no one can get a word in.
Yeah.
There isn't enough time.
Yes.
So we normally advise clients on how big a panel should be.
So, and how big should it be?
I will come to that.
All right.
So the moderating is more about taking an issue that a client wants to discuss. I can give you an example. Let's say we're having a discussion on climate financing or financing resilience and adaptability in the face of climate change. That is a discussion that you may want to have an event. And on your panel, you might have, let's say, the executive director of UNEP, UN Environment Programme. You might have a government, you might have an NGO, you might have civil society, you might have a activist. And as the moderator, you're really trying to, first of all, understand the objective of the panel discussion, the different points of view that each participant wants to bring to the audience.
All right.
The types of questions that you may need to ask as the moderator to solicit or give birth or to evoke certain discussions and conversations that need to be had during the panel. And there's often an outcome. You know, there's often an objective to the discussion. What do we want to achieve from this discussion?
All right.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
So this is really the most, I find, the most exciting and most interesting aspect of the work we do at Moderate the Panel, is really having those important conversations and discussions that have a clear objective in mind and tangible outcomes that the organizers, the clients can build on and take away with them. In terms of the size of panels, I think that was your question. The clients we work with different types of clients. Some clients, this is where I really see the value in investing in a professional moderator or MC and working with an organization and company like Moderate the Panel, is that advisory role. We advise the client on, okay, you want to talk about this subject, you currently have 8 people on the panel, it's too much. You will not get what you want out of this panel. Or you have a panel heavily slated to one gender, an all-male panel. Another issue. Or we don't have diversity in terms of disability on a panel. That's another issue. Or we might have panelists who are all from the same region of the world. That's another issue. So that's where the expertise, you know, the foundation of which has been for many of us at Moderate the Panel, our journalistic background, that's where the expertise comes in, which is to say, we are going to advise you that if you want to have this type of discussion, this is how you need to curate this panel.
All right, interesting. So back to moderation. You moderate sessions from various industries. And I know there are some industries that are very complex. So that, you know, so there is no enough data. It's a very complex industry to understand. And a good example, let me talk about the space exploration, you know. So, and Yvvone is tasked to moderate the panel. So then where do you start? Or you get you find yourself moderating a session with a totally foreign subject matter, and you're like, oh my gosh, how do you tackle that, and what does it take for you to really get to grasp in terms of preparation, the research? What happens in such case? Because I beg to differ that you may not be eloquent in all industries, but they need your skill and expertise.
Yeah.
And just to build a little bit on that, some few years ago there was a discussion that it's easier, especially when you're doing health reporting, now that you're a correspondent, you might guide, it's easier to train a doctor into journalism instead of a journalist teaching him or her about health. So there's that chicken and egg situation. So which is easier? So if it's a business journalist, does it make easier a business expertise or a business scholar? It's easier to train him or her on business reporting as compared to a journalist specializing on business advice?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, Simon, I wish I could say that I am the fountain of all knowledge and I am an expert on every single subject in the world. Unfortunately, I cannot say that. And yes, at Moderate the Panel, of course, our clients come from all sorts of sectors and with all sorts of missions and purposes and issues, from banking and finance, gender, health, development, the humanitarian sector, foundations and charities, industry, automobile industry, aviation, the science world, the medical profession. I mentioned healthcare already. So we have a very broad range of issues that our clients represent or fields that they work in. And what we do at Moderate the Panel is when we are approached by clients, we first try to match our moderator or our MC to that specific organization or issue or field of work, and build obviously on the internal expertise that we already have, okay? Because obviously that makes it a lot easier if the MC or the moderator has some knowledge of the sector or the field of work. Of course, that's not always possible. So what we normally do also is we ask clients or we support clients to develop briefing documents. So most events have some sort of concept note, right? I mean, something on paper that explains the purpose of the event, what they're trying to achieve. So we actually start normally with the concept of the event, or asking the client to share or to send us the concept of the event. What is the actual event about, right? And then what are the different discussions that we want to have in this conference or this event or in this exhibition or in this meeting? And then we support clients at Moderate the Panel. We support clients to really put on paper the ideas that are upstairs. So normally we would support clients at Moderate the Panel to develop briefing documents or briefing notes on each issue. An overview of what the issue is and the key data and statistics around the issue and the key questions that we want to discuss and the outcome that we want from those discussions. We also regularly requests, or not regularly, we always, in most instances, we request briefings, biographical briefing notes or background biography note of each of the speakers. So it's important to know this particular person on my 5 or 6 or 3 person panel is the CEO of whatever organization. They have a background in this, and these are their key messages. What are the key messages that they are going to communicate during the panel. So all of that information, the concept note of the event, the agenda for the event, the briefing notes on each specific topic that is to be discussed, biographical detail and information about each of the speakers, the key messages that they want to convey, the desired outcome that the client wants from the conversation. All of that is done prior to the event. And many clients, and this is what we're hoping to see happening in Kenya more than it does, many clients at Moderate the Panel, we normally insist on one-to-one conversations prior to the event with each of the discussants. And then we normally have a group discussion with everyone on a panel beforehand. Beforehand. And then sometimes even at the event on the day, we have a pre-event meeting or an icebreaker where the panelists are able to at least meet each other and just, have that icebreaker before they get on stage.
Oh, that's interesting. Actually, that's a masterclass.
Yes.
So you mean you engage the discussant before the event, and also during the event you'll also try to engage?
Absolutely. So prior to the event, we aim to speak to people who will be on stage. The people who will be on stage, who are normally the participants or the panelists or the discussants. We try to have one-to-one conversations with them to sort of, grasp where they're coming from, what their key messages are, what they want to say. And they often, this is one of the value adds of Moderate the Panel. They often will ask, who are the other panelists and what are they going to say? So I can prepare myself. So that's another way of just, putting more effort into having a great event so that when you're on stage, you know who the other discussants and panelists are. Or if you're the MC, you know what each person is going to be saying. When it comes to emceeing, a lot of people that take the podium, I did an event last year with various heads of states here in Nairobi, and I asked for the speeches of each of the visiting heads of states to give me an idea of what they were going to say. So it's a nice way of sounding knowledgeable, sounding engaged, being engaged, and connecting the different speakers who are coming on stage so that there's a really nice flow.
All right. That's quite interesting. Actually, let me be honest, I think that's not a standard we utilize here locally. Because in fact, actually, I'm just baffled by some of the best practices. I'm like, we need to be doing that. Because most people, and something actually, Yvvone, that I appreciate, it's the process, the groundwork before appearing for the 1 hour, 45-minute or 30-minute panel discussion. There is a lot of work that is actually it's put into it. So you find a point where the discussant, one of the panelists, is not maybe conversant with the, the communication skills. They don't know how to. So do you prepare them? Do you train them? For instance, I'm an expert in a particular subject matter, but I'm not used to appear in front of people. I'm not used to answering like this one-on-one conversation. I'm used to like one-on-one conversation indoor, of course, during their consultancy and line of work. So how do you navigate that?
Moderate the Panel brings to the events that we are part of and to the MICE industry is sensitivity and knowledge and awareness of how different people respond in different settings. So yes, for sure, there are panelists who have never been on stage or who rarely go on stage, who rarely speak publicly, who cannot speak witut a piece of paper or notes in front of them, or they find it difficult or intimidating or hard to do that, who maybe are not, or maybe think they have to look at the camera when they're speaking on stage. So as we are sort of at Moderate the Panel preparing for events, those pre-event conversations and meetings often help to tease out and help you as the MC or moderator identify who needs what kind of support let's say, in a panel discussion. So we often prepare them. And for instance, we may say at Moderate the Panel, okay, have your key messages. Just think about your key messages. Don't bring a piece of paper onto stage. Just think about the things that you want to say. Send us the questions, maybe sometimes you think we should pose to you that will help you to articulate the points you want to make.
All right, interesting. I understand Moderate the Panel does training and more of academy training such.
Absolutely. So Moderate the Panel, apart from our emceeing and moderating services, we also provide media communication training because a lot of people want to have and possess great oratory and communication skills. So whether that's emceeing and presenting events in the office, at their own meetings, whether it's appearing on television, radio, or digital media, whether it's writing an opinion piece or an op-ed in a newspaper.
All right.
So Moderate the Panel provides a broad range of media and communication trainings for various entities who want to really invest in improving their communication capacity.
That's more of capacity building within the organization.
Yeah.
So having now worked globally with global clients, so I just want to shift continents a little bit. So what's the variation between when you're working on projects within the African continent, working in Australia, working in North America, and the Asian market? So what differs? How does it operate? What's the difference?
That's a very good question. I would say that in my experience, there's still a lot of growth maybe that is needed in the African market. I think that externally, outside of the continent, clients get it more. They really see the value of hiring a professional moderator.
Interesting.
From the get-go. And it doesn't feel like something you have to sell or market or explain. They totally understand that without a great moderator, ideally from Moderate the Panel, their event will not have the same level of impact, quality and impact in terms of delivery and speaking, the speaking roles within the event. So I'd say that they are a lot more aware of the value that professional companies like Moderate the Panel bring. They often have larger budgets, of course, to pay the fees needed for moderators and MCs. They're a lot more organized in various respects of the event planning. Some will have event planners that you deal with. I find that on the continent, a lot of the time, the organization is organizing the event as opposed to engaging an event planner. Yeah, we do have that, I think, quite a bit.
Interesting.
But having said that, the reason why we have a presence on the continent is because we want to support clients to up their game, improve what they do, deliver higher quality events, and again, like I said, see the value of having a professional moderator, and not just Moderate the Panel, not just any moderator. I mean, maybe at Moderate the Panel we have the advantage, most of us, of being well-known names in our field. So again, when a client sees Femi Oke or Yvvone Ndege or Zain Verji, they know immediately that this person is bringing a certain level of experience, skill, and professionalism, which adds to the quality of the event. And even sometimes when, you know, the visibility materials or the program is being distributed to participants, and they see the investment in a well-known moderator, and the moderator is often named or part of the visibility and promotional campaign on LinkedIn or on other social media platforms, that's also very attractive. So most of the time when our clients are promoting their events, they will include our photos, our bios in all the materials. To show, I guess, that that there's been attention to detail in terms of the moderator.
Oh, that's interesting. I just feel like I cry for Africa. I'm like, wow.
Well, don't be so disillusioned, because at least I'm here and I have colleagues on the continent, quite a few moderate the panel colleagues, and we're working on this together, Simon. Even being here and talking about this and having this conversation is a great opportunity to get potential clients to realize that actually a moderator or a host or an MC is not an afterthought. It's actually central to pulling off a great event. And you remember, at events things also go wrong. And you need a moderator or an MC that can handle delays in the program, participants counseling at the last minute, or not being able to show up, or not getting a visa, or missing their flight, or being stuck in traffic, live broadcast going down, social media interaction that also needs to be shared whilst on stage, the power going off, a change of room. So you need, so as an MC, you have to be somebody, and this is what we do at Moderate the Panel, and this is why we bring the value, is to be able to handle all these different situations and be very flexible. I mean, I've had so many situations and events where I'm actually on stage and somebody is telling me that the person coming up next is not the president of this country, but the president of another country. And I'm looking around trying to understand who am I looking at? I don't even know. I don't even know what this president looks like. So, we have these situations, but
how you manage the situation.
And I've been very lucky. I mean, I always get positive feedback, like, it was flawless. You didn't know what was happening. I'm like, I did not know what was happening. You didn't know who was coming on stage. I did not know who was coming on stage. So it's also, you've got to have like a certain flair, a certain confidence about you.
Oh, actually, that's quite a lot. But indeed, it's true. And just to give you some numbers, 3% of the global MICE business takes place in Africa. And Africa has been holding this 3% for the last 17, 19 years or so, according to ICA ranking 2025. And I'm speaking because exactly what we've been in MICE there is the same thing, because we realize the market is not ready for us. Like, they do not understand what exactly we are doing. You had to take the initiative, then have this podcast. Let's talk about what MICE is. We need a lot of awareness. We need to prepare and curate this market, and you feel that Africa has been left behind. And I've been seeing, for the last 5 years, I've been seeing a wave of returnees in terms of they went to Europe, they went to the US, they were doing something, and it's time for them to come back home. And by the way, 2 years ago, I think also the government of Kenya also, they had a campaign on pushing FDIs, foreign direct investment, and telling Kenyans who are abroad that they need to come back home and invest. But I think Ghana and South Africa are the most eloquent in that subject matter. Most of them are coming back to their country, especially in Ghana. So yes, it's a thing that we really need to come back in Africa. So teach them, learn. Right now we are a global village. So whatever happens in the US is definitely going to affect us. And we've seen what Trump has been doing. It's also affecting us in the African continent. So we definitely have a lot to do.
Absolutely. And it's really been a pleasure having this conversation with you. And really unpacking the tremendous opportunity, because the I in MICE is the incentives, right? So there's a lot of incentive to come and actually have an event on the continent, particularly in Kenya, because it's one of the most appreciated tourist destinations. So you can combine your exhibition or your event or your meeting with a safari or a trip to the coast. And I mean, just to re-emphasize again for the viewers that, and the potential clients who are watching and listening to us now, is the value of a moderator, a professional MC and moderator, you know, is cannot be understated. It brings a level of professionalism, seriousness, flair, and respect, really, for high-level events. We have been incredibly lucky at Moderate the Panel, primarily thanks to Femi Oke and the senior management in the company, to have to be sought after by high-level clients.
That's true.
Major global institutions and corporations. And it's because of what we deliver for their events and the level of engagement. It's truly a partnership. It's truly about us as professional moderators bringing our experience, bringing our skills, bringing our professionalism, bringing our contacts, bringing our adaptability and flexibility, bringing our political awareness and sensitivity to different issues, to an event, to now take the stress. You know, what I've loved most about the work I've done at Moderate the Panel is when you see the stress draining from the client, because they know that she's going to handle it. Like, I don't have to panic. Like, this is not going to go wrong. Moderate the Panel are going to deliver. So I can focus on whatever it is that needs sorting out, whether it's the audio visual or the venue issues, which usually crop up during an event. So it's just so wonderful, like, you know, witnessing, like I said, the stress draining from their faces when you say, don't worry, MTP have it covered.
And actually, once we see Yvvone or Femi, they're like, everything is
handled.
So they just feel relaxed.
That's what I really enjoy. And then being happy at the end, because you know, a lot of the clients we engage with, they have managers, they have directors, and they've been given the job of organizing an event, and they need to deliver for their organizations. So it's just great when these partnerships work, which they always seem to do, and they get the investment in Moderate the Panel correct, and Moderate the Panel delivers a much more finessed and excellent product than they would have had they left it to a friend of a friend of a friend who speaks well, or somebody that they just pulled off the television or the radio that maybe doesn't fit the event. They might fit a radio show, but they cannot carry you know, a certain they have to have a certain style, a certain finesse.
When you engage a live audience.
Absolutely. No, just not even when we're just engaging live audiences. I'm just saying that, you know, you have to look at yourself as the client. You know that if you're in banking and finance, your MC has to have a certain connection with people in that sector. People in that sector have to believe that this person has the skills, the professionalism, the knowledge to carry off this event. You know, if it's a wedding or a birthday party, you know what type of MC you need. You need somebody who can make people laugh, right? And dance. You know, so it's that bespoke service that MTP offers.
All right, interesting. So as we close to wind down, I know this conversation is not complete with element of sustainability and inclusion. So what initiatives has Moderate the Panel taken to ensure that it has incorporated element of sustainability in its business strategy in terms of delivery and inclusion?
So just expand for me when you talk about sustainability and inclusion.
Yeah, great. That's a good question. So inclusion, it being a global appeal from different media backgrounds. So does MTP have moderators with special needs that are able to be incorporated? the gender balance. So in terms of sustainability, we know we are going green. So in terms of the operations or the planning or the, or the delivery, so how do you, what initiatives do you guys do to ensure that you reduce the carbon emission? So by that, does it mean if it's a place you can travel or walk in a session? So just explain a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah. Oh my God.
So I know sustainability is broad. It's broad.
It's very broad, but I get you. So I think we are at Moderate the Panel definitely sensitive to waste, right? All right. And climate and the environment. And for sure, we try to reduce our footprint in our everyday lives, I think, and not and our work at Moderate the Panel. So if that means virtual meetings instead of physical, we do that. We don't print most of our documents. We use our devices.
Interesting.
And yeah, I think we are cognizant of, as we're working, as we're undertaking our work, of the decisions we're making, and we're also trying to support the clients to not waste and to do things that are sustainable. In terms of inclusion, we are an all-female team.
Oh
yes, Moderate the Panel is an all-female team because we found that clients wanted female MCs and moderators.
Oh, so it's by intention.
By intention. By intention.
All right.
The demand was really for a female touch and female MCs and moderators. But we are very inclusive.
Interesting.
We are very inclusive in terms of racial diversity, ethnic diversity. We have moderators from North Africa, from West Africa, from East Africa, from Southern Africa, based in these parts of the continent, from Asia and the Far East, from North America, from Europe. So we are quite diverse in that sense. And also the age spectrum. We have some moderators who are in their 30s and some who are in their 60s. So I think we are very inclusive. But again, everything is about what the client wants, and what we try to do is we try to match what the client wants, but also we're able to offer them, a variety of types of moderators.
Interesting. I know AI has come to disrupt, and the conversation that you're having right now, we have stopped the conversation of are you going to use AI or not. It's how fast do you how fast do you expedite or unleash AI into your business model. So right now, that's the conversation that you're having. So at Moderate the Panel, so how does MTP leverage on AI? Maybe it might be in its planning process, the research process. So what are some of the touch points that you leverage?
I don't think we have a corporate AI response or strategy.
All right.
I think different moderators may use AI when they need to, maybe in the areas of research, researching topics, etc., etc. But I think as things stand, we try to keep our work as authentic and as original as possible. But I would say that perhaps maybe, not me personally, I personally cannot think of an instance where I've used maybe AI to do some research. But this is one of the benefits maybe that I see with AI for us in researching for our events and our different topic areas that we're covering.
All right. So what are some of the challenges that MTP in its line of duty, that is in terms of emceeing, moderating within the African continent? So what are some of these challenges that you guys face?
Maybe the biggest challenge that we face at MTP is getting potential clients and the MICE space, the MICE sector, to really understand the value of investing in professional emceeing and moderating services. And this is a challenge we're trying to overcome through articulating and explaining the value of investment and showing our work. And opportunities like this to be on your podcast are great. In terms of the impact we would like to have, the impact really is to really, okay, this is maybe more of a personal impact for me, is to attract more business to professional moderating and emceeing services, MTP, so that potential clients see the value and the difference that we bring to events, that Moderate the Panel panelists bring to events. This is the impact we would like to have. I would definitely, as somebody here on the continent, want to see more organizations, global organizations, international organizations choosing Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, Cairo, and other places as destinations for their activities, partly inspired and on the basis of knowing that the moderators are excellent on the continent and will not be a letdown. This is maybe my final point. I guess what I would maybe like to say to your audience is really thank you for watching and listening and really giving Moderate the Panel an opportunity to talk about the MySpace and the importance of maybe investing in, using, hiring, engaging, partnering with professional, high-level, internationally renowned expert MCs and moderators who bring a much higher standard of delivery to key events and activities that people, individuals, organizations and corporations are having here on the continent. It is absolutely, in my own view, worth the investment. And they say the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And if you go on to our website, moderatethepanel.com, that's moderatethepanel.com, you can read about Moderate the Panel, the emceeing and moderating services we provide, the bios and photos of all the moderators and all the services we offer. So I'd love to, and I would like to encourage all the viewers to go online, check out moderatethepanel.com. And thank you for your time. And thank you, Simon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yvvone.
It's been such a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
And thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Extend my regards to Femi.
I will.
So I know once she comes back to Nairobi, we'll be able to connect properly.
Absolutely. I'll let her know when you're here.
And thank you for gracing our podcast.
Yeah, not at all. The pleasure's been mine. Thank you, Simon.
Thank you so much.
And I can't wait to see the final
Definitely.
product. Thank you.
It doesn't get better than this. And this is a My Stock podcast.